students, my name is Vatsal Shah and I am here to teach you Organization of Commerce and Management today. Today is my first lecture in this subject, Organization of Commerce. First of all, let me give you a brief introduction about what all things that you are going to learn in this subject, Organization of Commerce. As the name suggests, do you all know that commerce means trade? Commerce means trade. Trade is an activity which involves exchange of goods and services. So, what all things are you going to learn in this subject? You are going to learn how to organize and manage an existing business, right? Each and every one of us, whatever activities we do, there is some kind of an objective behind each and every activity. Even if we eat, even if we drink, even if we sleep, we have a purpose or an objective behind each and every activity. So, Organization of Commerce and Management, this subject will help you. This subject will help you to achieve your personal business objectives, and it will be helpful in guiding you in how to organize, structure a business, how to run it successfully, and what all things managers or the management does, right? So these are the things that you are going to learn in OC as a subject. Some people might say OC previously it was business administration, so some people tell this subject as BA also, right? So let me give you a quick brief about what all different chapters are there in your subject OC. Beginning with the nature, purpose and scope of business. Today we are going to learn few things about chapter number 1, nature, purpose and scope of business. Today we are going to learn about this chapter, nature, purpose and scope of business. Apart from business, there are professions, there are employment opportunities which help you in earning monetary benefits. Now, let us not talk about the chapter right now. I am going to introduce with the syllabus that you have, right? So, in your syllabus, first chapter is nature, purpose and scope of business, in which you will learn different characteristics, benefits, disadvantages or limitations of business, and what all you will learn in the next few chapters in business services 1, business services 2 is you are going to learn what all services are there which support business, which are supporting in trade and commerce, and these services itself are a business. Like if I talk about logistics, if you want to transport one good to another place, from one place to some other place, so what will you do? You will go to a transport company or a logistics company which will help you transport the good from one place to another place. So transport or logistics is a service. You will learn about few more services in the second and third chapter, right? From fourth and fifth chapter, what you are going to learn, is there are different formats of doing business, different forms. One form is the sole proprietorship form, right, in which only one single individual person is the owner. He runs the entire business himself, right? Then you have partnership firm in which two or more people come together and operate a business. Then you have a company format, and there are different companies, private sector, public company. So you are going to learn about all those things in detail, how these companies are formed and what all activities do they do. After that, you are going to learn about what all are the sources of finance. What all are the sources of finance? If you want to take money, then from which all sources can you borrow funds for doing business? How can you borrow funds from doing business? Right? Even if you are doing a job, then these all information will be relevant to whatever job you are pursuing after doing commerce. So each and every commerce student should be acquainted with the knowledge of organization of commerce. It is a very important subject in practical life. When further after doing graduation or post graduation you will end up doing a job or a business, the concept of organization of commerce and management will be applicable to you in your job as well as your business at each and every stage, right? So please pay close attention on whatever today I am going to teach you in this first chapter. So let us begin the first chapter. Now, before learning about business, before learning what business is as an activity, I would like to inform you that since the primitive age, human beings have different needs and wants. All the human beings have different needs and wants, and these wants are unlimited. These wants are unlimited. Why? Because if you eat today, if you sleep today, again tomorrow you will feel a need to eat something, to drink something, and after getting tired you will feel some need to take rest. So these wants, some are basic wants, some are secondary wants. These wants are unending, and human beings try to fulfill their unlimited wants using the limited resources that they have. And in doing so, in fulfilling each and every want, a single human being cannot manage to fulfill all his wants. He needs the help of some other person. So, in the older times, before money was invented, there was barter system, right? There was barter system long before money was invented, in which there was exchange. There was an exchange of goods and services. Right? There was exchange of goods and services at the time of barter system, when barter system prevailed across the world, because money as a medium of exchange was not invented at that time. Okay? So, what human beings need to do, if I am a farmer, if I am a farmer and I am cultivating seeds, I am growing various cereals, pulses or fruits, then I am able to consume them or eat them. I am able to consume them or eat them and fulfill my hunger or thirst. But I will also need other things in order to live my life peacefully. Like I will need a house, I will need clothes, I will need shoes to wear, right? So at that time what happened was, if I had food grains, I would go to the market and I would exchange some of the food grains in exchange of clothes, right? the person who has clothes, and if he needs shoes, then what would they do? They would take a bunch of clothes with them and they would exchange that product for shoes. So this was how exchange occurred in the barter system, right? But now with the advent of money, things became easy. Things became easy when money was invented as a medium of exchange. When money was invented as a medium of exchange, right? So what do people nowadays do? They sell different goods and products in exchange for money, and using this money they try to fulfill their different needs and wants. Correct? They exchange goods and services for money, and then they try to fulfill their wants and needs. Okay? So what all different activities do people do in order to earn money? What all different activities do people perform in order to earn money? There are three particular things that people do in order to earn money. One is they enter into a business. They enter into a business. In business, they either provide goods or services to customers, and in exchange for those goods and services, they earn money, right? They earn profit, they earn money, which they can use to spend on different things. After that, apart from business, what you can do is you can take up a job, right? People are working in different institutions, right? People are working in different companies, and they are performing a certain kind of a job, and which is called employment. In exchange of what all services these people provide, they are getting salary, which is in terms of money, and again that money they can use to fulfill their different needs and wants. Correct? After that, apart from both of these, there is another form of an economic activity. All these activities are called economic activity. An economic activity, I am coming to that point after this. An economic activity is an activity where you get monetary benefit in exchange of goods and services. If you are entering into a transaction for some monetary benefit or economic gain, then that particular activity is called an economic activity. Now profession like a teacher, like a doctor, like a lawyer, these things are included in this head called profession. They charge fees. Doctor charges fees, lawyer charges fees, teachers also charge fees. So if you are into a profession, you are giving services and you are demanding fees, which is in form of money, and you are using that money to fulfill your different needs and wants. So you go through it once, and the main point you need to remember is that all of these are different economic activities. And why does a man pursue or do enter into such economic activities? Because they want to earn money, they want to earn their livelihood. Each and every person has a particular set of needs and wants. Some persons wants are very high, some persons needs and wants are very less, but different people have different needs and wants. In order to fulfill those wants, each and every person in this world tries to do some kind of an economic activity, right? So let us understand now what is an economic activity. What is an economic activity is what we are going to learn now. An economic activity is any activity done with the purpose of getting any activity done with the purpose of getting monetary benefits, or you can say economic gains. So any activity done with the purpose of getting monetary benefits is an economic activity. Like every person does some kind of an economic activity in order to earn his livelihood, right? So what are examples of economic activity? Any businessman you take, any teacher like me you take, or any doctor or lawyer, right? Or any consultant, right? Or any person doing a job in any company, any particular institution, or each and every businessman, they all are doing economic activities. If someone is selling mobile phones, then he is earning money by selling a good or a product. So what he is doing, his purpose is getting monetary benefits out of that business. So it is termed as an economic activity. If a teacher is teaching some concepts and charging some fees in exchange for that, then that particular person is doing an economic activity. Why so? Because the purpose for teaching is monetary benefits. If a doctor gives treatment to a patient and then charges fees from the patient, then he is doing an economic activity, right? So everyone is clear with the purpose of an economic activity. The purpose is to earn monetary benefits or economic gains. Okay, so everyone should be clear with this point, right? Now economic activities, if I want to describe certain points regarding an economic activity, then what will be then? It is an activity done to earn livelihood. It is an activity done to earn the livelihood by each and every person. Each and every person is doing economic activity in order to earn their livelihood. Okay. The next point is that economic activities satisfy the needs of others. Satisfy the needs of others, right? If you are a patient, your stomach is aching, right? Then what will you do? You will go and consult a doctor. He will give some kind of medicines to you. He will provide some treatment. After getting that treatment, you will feel better, and in exchange for that treatment, you are giving some fees to that doctor. So what is doctor doing? It is satisfying your needs. You wanted to get treated, so the doctor satisfied your need for feeling better again, right? If you are hungry and you go to a restaurant, you are going to order something in order to eat. Why you need to eat? Because you want to fulfill your need of hunger. Okay, so by eating at a restaurant, you are fulfilling your need of hunger, and therefore you are paying some money to the restaurant in exchange for food. So in a particular way, that restaurant is helping you to fulfill your need of hunger. So satisfying the needs of others is a vital point of an economic activity. And lastly to say, economic activities are at the center of the modern world. You all know that we have good relations with different countries. India has good relations with Israel, India has good relations with America, India has good relations with Japan, right? Because of what things? Because of we have trade relations with them. Because we have trade relations, and what are trade relations? We are exchanging different products and services that are produced in our country with other countries. So therefore, relations are created between different countries, and the world has become a global village today, and each and every country has trade relations with a lot many countries across the world. So economic activities are currently at the center of the modern world. So this was all about economic activities. Now we are going to understand what are non-economic activities. Now we are going to understand what are non-economic activities. We have understood that the purpose of an economic activity is to earn profit. Now, what is the purpose of non-economic activity? The motive or the purpose of a non-economic activity is not to earn profit, not to earn monetary benefit, not profit exactly, not to earn any monetary benefit. The purpose is never to earn any monetary benefit. Rather, the purpose is social service. The purpose of a non-economic activity is social service or service to the mankind, as we say, right? You have seen different social workers in your society or in your city who are working hard to provide food to the hungry people, needy people, who are working hard to provide education to backward class children, right? So what are they doing? Are they getting paid for what all services they provide? No, they are doing it they are getting motivated in order to do social service. They want to do something for the people of their city, people of their country, and therefore they are contributing by providing such services. If we talk about a doctor who is treating poor or needy patients for free, then that particular doctor is not charging any fees for the treatment, then he is doing a non-economic activity. If he charges the fees for the same treatment that he gives, then it becomes an economic activity. But whenever the doctor does not charge any kind of fees, then it becomes a social service and it is called a non-economic activity, because the motive or the purpose that the doctor gave treatment was not to earn any kind of monetary benefits or economic gains. So this is main thing that we all need to Remember, it is an activity. Now, what is a economic activities were done in order to earn the livelihood. Now, non-economic activities are done to help, affected people. Affected people in the sense, if there is an earthquake or a tsunami, or if floods are happening in a particular area of Gujarat, then all the volunteers who travel to that particular city and start helping the needy people in various ways. What work are they doing? They are doing activity to help the affected people, helping them move their belongings, helping them getting a new home or a safe place where the people can stay, right? So these activities are done to help the affected people. Now, another important point is that the people doing this activity, the people doing this kind of an activity are motivated. They are motivated to serve the country and the society. Motivation comes from within to serve the country or society. Okay, so the people who are doing non-economic activities, some people are doing donations at different places, at orphanages or old age homes. What are they doing? They are doing a non-economic activity. It is an activity of social service. Why are they doing it? Because they feel motivated either by seeing someone or from within. They feel motivated that they should serve the country or the society or the people living near them. Okay, so these are the main 4 points that are included in your non-economic activity. Now, now we have seen what is an economic activity and what is a non-economic activity. Now we are going to see what is the difference between an economic activity and non-economic activity. We are going to see what is the difference between an economic activity and a non-economic activity. Now we are going to study what is the difference between an economic activity and a non-economic activity. Majorly there are 4 points of difference mentioned in your textbook, and we will be going as per them, and we will discuss the points one after the other. The first difference is the objective. The first difference or the point of difference is the objective behind these activities. As you all know, what is the purpose or objective of an economic activity? It is to earn monetary benefit. The purpose of economic activity is to earn monetary benefit or some kind of economic gains. The prime purpose of an economic activity is to earn profit, is to earn money rather than profit. Because in employment you will be earning salary, in profession you will be earning fees, and in business you will be earning profit. Okay, so the sole purpose or the main purpose of an economic activity is to earn monetary benefits. What is the purpose of non-economic activity? I just wrote a few minutes back. The purpose of a non-economic activity is to provide social service or service to humanity. They want to serve people. They want to serve the people in different ways. So this was the first point of difference between an economic activity and a non-economic activity. The second I would like to take up first is type of economic or non-economic activities. As I have already mentioned earlier, there are 3 types of economic activities. 3 types of economic activities are there, in which the first is business. One is business. The second is profession. Doctor, lawyer, teacher, they all are into a profession. And the third one is employment. Employment, in the bracket I would like to say some kind of a job if anyone is pursuing. If someone is pursuing a job, then he or she is said to be employed at a particular organization. Right? These are the 3 types of economic activities. Whereas in non-economic activity, there is no type. There is not a particular type of a non-economic activity. People do different kind of things or provide different kind of services to the helpful, to the needy people and to the affected people. They provide different services to the needy and affected people out of self-motivation. Right? So there is not a particular type of non-economic activity. Then the next point is, what is the expectation? What is the expectation of people doing economic activities? Then what are the different expectations? Supposingly, if a person is doing business, then what will be his expectation from doing business? His expectation will be to earn profit. His expectation will be to earn profit. Now, a person who is into a profession like a doctor or a lawyer, what would they expect against their services if they provide you some kind of a service? Then what will be they expecting in return? They will expect fees. they will expect fees. What does your school charge? Your school charges fees from students who are willing to study in their particular school. So in profession, they charge fees, and those who are into employment or any kind of a job, they would expect salary. They will expect salary in return. If a person is working as a clerk in any particular organization, then that particular person will expect salary at the end of the month. If there is an employee working in a particular government institution, then that particular employee, whatever work he might be doing, he will expect salary against the services that he provides to the organization. Okay, so what is the expectation? Now you know what to write in expectation. The expectation is profit, fees and salaries for doing any kind of an economic activity. The last now what is the expectation for people doing non-economic activities? What is the expectation of people doing non-economic activities? Their expectation is to serve the people. They expect that the people who are affected, their needs and wants are fulfilled as fast as possible. Or you can say serve the people, or you can say bring some positive change. Bring some positive change in situations of the needy or affected people. They try to bring some positive change in the life of needy and affected people. And the last point of difference, between economic and non-economic activity is the risk and uncertainty. In business, obviously there is a lot of risk involved. What kind of risk? Whether competition increases or the competition decreases. If the government rules change, then the risk of business increasing. If there is more competition in the market, then you won't be able to secure a job, right? So people stay unemployed because they are unable to secure a job, because they are incompetent, right? So there is a lot of risk involved in doing any kind of economic activities. In business, there is a chance of earning profit, or even at times a loss is occurred in business. So there is a risk here, right? And always there is competition in all the three forms of economic activity. So risk always remains, right? Whereas here in non-economic activity, whatever kind of service you are willing to give to the needy people, there is no risk at all. You are trying to bring a positive change. It is not compulsory or necessary that you bring a positive change, but there is no particular risk in doing any kind of a non-economic activity. So these were the main 4 points. Of difference between an economic and non-economic activity. Now, if